Hi guys, so today's tutorial is a look that is great for Valentine's Day or a first date or anything where you want your lips to look very kissable with as little product as possible, with your cheeks looking very flushed and glowy, just very like healthy skin, and an eye look that is very done and put together, very kind of like mesmerizing and sexy, but not so like done, like wow, she's wearing a ton of makeup. Very flattering. You guys have also been requesting this look because I wore something very similar to this. At least I was using this product that I got recently, the same product that I used for that other video. So I'm doing that also because it was heavily requested, but this is the look that I wore on my anniversary with my husband when we went out. February is kind of like really love month for us because our anniversary is on the 9th, then we have Valentine's Day, and then coming up in March we always have like the anniversary of our first date, which we celebrate as well, which will be 8 years this year, which is crazy. I think it's a great, like, really put together, flattering, sexy go-to look for any time, but it's just perfect for a date. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. I hope that you guys enjoy it, and if you want to see it step by step, then keep watching. Alright, so first I'm applying this Tarte eye primer, and it's colorless, and it's called Lifted, and it has some sort of like firming ingredient. I've been using this little sample that I got. Forgot what I got it in. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that they have the full size ones out most places, and I like it so far. So I'm putting that all over my lid, dabbing it on my brow bone, and whatever's left on my finger, just kind of blending it under my lower lash line. And all of the eyeshadows that I'm using can be found in one quad, which is pretty nice. It's the Bare Minerals Ready Eyeshadow and the Truth. If you don't have these colors or this particular one, it's pretty nice because you can just use a dark brown, a medium frosted brown. This is kind of like a taupe-ish color, kind of like satin taupe, maybe a little lighter than satin taupe, and then like a creamy golden highlight shade. So if you don't have these colors, I do highly recommend them. I think that they're really great eyeshadows, but you can use other things. I'm going to start by applying the highlight shade first, and I'm going to use this E70 angled brush by Sigma, and I'm using that lightest shade in the palette. I'm going to start by dabbing that on this inner corner, and then on this lower part, and then I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit under my brow. If you want that to be even more intense, you could layer it with a product kind of like Benefit, I have mine out, the Eye Bright pencil, or like a white pencil. This is Fascinating by MAC. But I'm actually just putting the color on without it. You can build it up and it can get lighter or more intense. That's what I really like about these Bare Minerals eyeshadows, the pressed ones. You can really like build them. Alright, now I'm going to start with the next color, which is this taupe-ish color called Magnetism. The first one was called Serendipitous. This one's Magnetism. I'm going to use this E55 brush to apply that and tap it off a little bit. Dab it all over my lid. When you get to that inner part, putting down that highlight shade just keeps it from grabbing so much of the dark, because you want to keep that inner corner pretty bright. And then turn the brush kind of sideways as you work it into that crease. And then you can take a blending brush, this is an E40, and go around the color a little bit. Next, I'm going to take a brush that is like the E40, but just a little more precise. It's an E35. You could use the E40 if that's what you've got. And I'm using this color called Fate, kind of like the medium. Well, it is a dark brown, but tap off the color so that you don't get any fallout. And apply that in your crease. Again, blend out the edges. And take the darkest shade in the palette, which is called Apropos. It's really pretty. It has like these silverish sparkles to it. It's kind of like a matte shade, but with these silver sparkles. It's really pretty. And then kind of stamp that in the outer corner. You can see how that's like transferring really well. And blend it just a little bit. You could even use, actually, it would be much better, this E25 brush. It's a little more precise. So if you've got one of those brush sets from Sigma, I believe there's one that has both of those in it. Or most of the ones that I've used anyways. So if you've got this one, use this one because it works better. That's what I did on my other eye. So you've got the dark color built up. Very simple. It's a pretty simple eye look, but I just love the colors so much. You can take that same dark shade on a brush like an E20, or you can use like one of those pointed, more like pencil-y brushes, and trace this outer half of your eye, and then kind of flip the brush over and wipe it off a little, and then get this taupe shade right there that we used, and it's a little lighter, and kind of smudge it from the middle inward. Alright, so simple. The eyeshadow is so flattering and I love it, but it's just very, very quick to apply. I want my liner to look pretty defined. I'm going to actually use this. It's my Carbon Black Liner Intense by L'Oreal. I really love it. Just any kind of dark black liner will work. And the reason I'm using this is because I really want it to look kind of winged on this outer corner, kind of a little more like fun and flirty. So I'm applying that all the way in. And then I'm going to apply mascara. I'm going to use the Giorgio Armani Eyes to Kill. This is the excess one that I believe is a little more volumizing. To me, I don't think it's necessarily more volumizing. I think that it kind of just is a little darker and the formula is a little like wetter, and it just kind of defines your lashes more. Make sure to get your lower lashes as well. That's going to kind of really open up your eyes even more. Alright, so the eyes are all finished. If you keep watching, I'm going to show you how to complete the look and get a really glowy, flirty, nice effect on the rest of your face. Okay, so the eyes are done. I really like how defined it is, but it's still kind of like intriguing. I don't know, but it's not like just hit you in the face, you know, too much makeup, but it's still nice. For my cheeks, I'm going to use this color by Smashbox. I believe these are in different packaging now. These were some of my favorite blushes. I believe last year or year before last, I used the heck out of these, and I kind of forgot about them, and I haven't really been using them much lately, but I'm going to break them out again, and I want to go see what other colors they have now. But the Blush, Rush, and Flush, it may even be called something different now, but it's this Flush shade, and it's kind of like a medium pink, almost on the lighter side. This actually works on darker skin tones. You wouldn't think it does, but it really is so pigmented that it shows up brighter than, it's just really nice. I don't know, it's really nice and glowy. But instead of kind of taking the whole like love, date, you know, Valentine's flirty theme too far and, you know, feeling like you have to do like pink on your eyes or something, you can take it on your, you know, use it on your cheeks or as a lip gloss or something. Use the theme there. And if you're wanting something more like that, I have a ton of old videos. I believe this is like my fourth maybe Valentine's inspired look or anything like that I've done since I started my channel. So I know I do have some older looks where I used pink and stuff on my eyes. And then I'm going to use this Too Faced Candlelight because I want my skin to look kind of glowy. I don't want to have any heavy frost or like glitter or anything crazy on my face. But I really like this, and when I first got it, I wasn't really sure if I liked it, to be honest with you. But I've really been enjoying it. Now that I kind of know how to use it, and I don't know. So this is what it looks like. It's like a creamy, really pretty like goldeny shade. It's not as yellow as like NARS Albatross and not as frosted as that. I like to use a brush like this. This is an F10. If you use a brush like this, with a product that's a highlighting product that has actual shimmer to it, which this one does, like loose, I want to say loose, but it does have little flecks of shimmer. It can kind of get areas that you don't want it. This kind of holds it better. I like those brushes more for like cream highlighters or for highlighters that don't have heavy shimmer. Frosted ones, it's fine, but this product is kind of loose anyways. When you start getting it on the brush, it kind of flies everywhere, so you gotta be careful. So I dab it on my hand and I apply just a little bit to the tops of my cheekbones, and it's really subtle. You can even use this like all over your face with a big fluffy brush, but the effect's really subtle, but I like it. For my lips, I don't want anything really goopy or heavy looking. If you want to define them a little bit, use a lip pencil that is kind of like a berry shade. If you use one that's too flesh toned or one that's too like natural looking, sometimes that can look orangey if you're not going to apply color over it. This color is called Dervish. Not a good idea to talk while you're applying lip liner. If you're uncomfortable with lip liner, just skip this step, because unless you can really do it where it's going to look, you don't want to see the line, you just want it to be kind of like defined. Since we're not using much color. I'm actually using this. It's just the MAC Clear Lip Conditioner, and this is actually the one that Ricky Martin did with that like Ricky Martin and Nicki Minaj thing, which I believe is out in February sometime. And you can kind of take your finger and blend it in with the lip liner a little. That's one of my favorite tricks, because you're not gonna, your lips look kissable. They don't look like you've got tons of product gooped all over them, especially like on a date or something, right? If you want, you can take like an eyeshadow, and this eyeshadow is kind of perfect for adding a little sparkle, this light color. Put a little on your finger and just blend it in. And it adds a little something to the color without it being super goopy. So it really looks like these are just, you know, your natural lips with just a little bit of a sheen to them. Like they just look healthy. You definitely don't want your lips to look flaky or anything. So it's a good idea to use something, but nothing super thick and goopy, especially if you're going to be kissing. So that's the tutorial. I hope that y'all enjoyed it and that you have a great Valentine's Day and that you're having a great month of February, and I will talk to y'all very soon.